So, we have just finished our 10-day Oman road trip. It was just phenomenal. And this was our first time. We did it in 2021 December. It was an amazing trip. So we had a lot of experiences. Since we were doing it for the first time, we had a lot of challenges, we had a lot of experiences. So we gathered, we couldn't find much of YouTube videos at that time. So we just took some tips from those that were available there and some suggestions from friends who have been to Ras Al Hickman. That was the most challenging part. And so Zinni, maybe you should share some experience. What do you have?
Yeah, so initially as we were planning for the trip, I was a bit anxious and excited as this was the first time. Anxious because usually during a road trip or a drive I don't feel good, but really it turned out to be an awesome trip. And the best thing I liked about the trip were three things. One was the fishing trip, which I really enjoyed. The dolphin watching and the fishing trip. We turned up catching a lot of fish, which was the first time again. And the second part was our drive from Hasik to Salalah. That was a very beautiful drive along the coastal strip. The scenery was beautiful, and we really enjoyed that drive. And the third thing was the weather. The weather was amazing. And like Roshan said, the Ras Al Hickman trip was really challenging, but we can just say that it was God's grace, and it was His hand that took us through the trip. But overall we really enjoyed, and it was an awesome trip.
Yeah. So we wanted to take our Petra, but the thing is that we have to take her the cage. And so space was of constraint, so we had to home her with one of our generous friends. So she was not with us for 10 days, but she was okay. So Ras Al Hickman, few of our friends said it's very dangerous to do it alone, especially because it is got sabaka. So once you are stuck, we have heard of experiences, even with 3 vehicles with winches, they couldn't pull the vehicle out of the murk or sand. That's a different terrain, but we got a few tips from our friend, so we had to star each point, and Zinni was a good navigator. I was driving, Zinni was pointing out, now each point, each marked point helped us, and that was the greatest challenge. I should say it would not be right for us to say that God was not in it. God was definitely in it. So even when we were preparing, we just committed to Jesus. Lord, help us in this. We are doing it for the first time. Honestly, from the start to the end, He was with us, and it was just a supernatural hand. There was a time when we were climbing Majlis al Jins, and there were a couple of landslides. There were points wherein the vehicle was strolling to climb, and I knew 2 or 3 times I felt like one hand pushed the vehicle up. Right, so but we couldn't complete it because we were on the low gear, and the engine oil the gearbox was heating up, and so we met an Omani Bedouin. So
very friendly
Bedouin who said he will help taking us on his pickup, or he can drive the car for us. So we thought, no, since we had a lot of stuff we were carrying from one camp to another camp, as we were moving, the whole camp thing was in our car, so it was loaded. The vehicle was quite heavy also to climb that, so we thought, we didn't want to take a lot of chances there. So times where even in Salalah, we had to park our car at one point because I didn't want any underbody hit. So we parked, and she was the one who said, initiated, come, let's walk. I
Yeah.
said, how far? We didn't know. So we had a landmark there. So we walked 20 minutes.
Yeah. And we met a group of camels.
We went through camel herds
Yeah.
to that point.
And that was a really beautiful point. It was worth taking that 20 minutes walk to go there. I guess if we wouldn't have done that, we would have missed this beautiful scenery there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all of that is covered in the videos. So I made it into 3 parts so that it doesn't wear you out watching the whole 30-40 minutes. We went. So we took the coastal side. So from Muscat through the coast down to Hasik, Salalah, and then came back through the inner road to Bidia, and from Bidia to Jebel Shams. So total we covered 3,500 kilometers odd in 10 days. That was an epic drive for us for that. And the next trip we are planning Musandam or Kasab. So we are planning for that.
It's in our bucket list.
That's in the final bucket
Next
list.
bucket
That's the only place, I think, major place that we haven't yet been. So we are planning for that. All right, so on to the videos. we are lucky today, Ahmed.
اوكي اهلين وسهلين. So انا موجود Ras Al Had and we are at a point where two seas meet together. On my left is the Arabian Sea and my right is Gulf of Oman. So this is a point where two seas kiss together, but two different natures. The Gulf of Oman is calm, friendly, and the other one, the Arabian Sea, is rough. So at summer, two different natures. And I love Oman and I love the nature. We are also at this place. It's a Ridley turtle nesting ground, and you can see a dead turtle there. I'll show you. Come. So this is a juvenile, not a baby, but a juvenile turtle which couldn't survive. So we are at this point where we are heading out to Ras Al Hickman. So rest of the story begins at Ras Al Hickman. Ma salama.